You're watching Tri Vibes TV. Welcome back to another weekly training video where I'm here to talk through all of the training I'm doing to prepare for Ironman Texas coming up in April of 2027. In today's video, we'll take a look at my triathlon training last week, day by day. We'll take a look at my training and racing plans for the week coming up. We'll also take a look at my health and performance metrics, my training status inside Garmin Connect, and we're also going to talk about bikes today too, very briefly. So diving in, I want to talk about bikes. Triathlon bikes are amazing. I love how each bike is so individual and people make them their own. And I have loved making my current bike, my Ridley Dean, my own personal dream bike. I love my bike. I really have not had a lot of concern about my bike. I don't feel like it's holding me back. However, I do know, and especially after my experience at Ironman Texas, that there are other athletes that have achieved a much more aerodynamic position. They're going faster than I am with lower watts at similar weights, and this has all started to turn the gears in my head. I happened to see an ad on Facebook for a company called KU Cycle. That's KU Cycles. And it was very interesting because the ad talked about how every single bike that they sell is custom made for an individual rider. Now, my first thought was that sounds very expensive. But what happened next was a bit of a realization process. I clicked the ad. I ended up having a text message discussion with a gentleman who's super friendly named Oscar Koo. Perhaps that last name means he's somewhat associated with the bike company, or maybe he just works at Koo. But either way, Oscar was awesome. And he explained to me how every single bike that they make is custom made for each rider, and every bike that is purchased comes with some very comprehensive aerodynamic testing that can be performed at a velodrome in Amsterdam with the team that built the bike. Now, I realize that sounds like a lot, and it is. However, I've quickly changed my perspective on there's probably a bike out there that it's faster than mine, and maybe I'll find a way to get one used, and then I'll make it into what I need. Like, I've always had this sort of like piecemeal approach when it comes to my bikes, feeling like I need to sort of find used equipment and put it together to do the best I can. Now, I've realized that I could probably buy 2 or 3 brand new triathlon bikes, right, for $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 over the next 10 years. And I might not be able to achieve the type of fit and aerodynamic advantage that I would get from purchasing one bike that is completely built for me. Now, this is all super exciting, but also it's kind of unattainable for me right now from a financial perspective. But I think that's okay because I have a lot of long-term goals in the sport of triathlon. I have many goals that are set 10 years in the future. And right now, this bike is a $14,000 investment. That doesn't include the travel cost of going to Amsterdam to meet with the team and actually pick up the bike. $14,000 is a lot of money, but you know what? If I start saving now and I start speaking it into existence like I'm doing here, I think that someday I can picture myself on a KU TF1, which to me is now the ultimate triathlon bike goal. So I wanted to share that. It was super exciting. Talking with Oscar was great. And yeah, maybe one day I'll be sitting here talking about building this amazing time trial bike that's going to be the best bike in the world for me because it's the only bike in the world that was built for me. If you're interested in this, definitely go check out their website. You know, they have a social media team. They even have a team of athletes called the Next Gen Race Team. I believe there may be sponsored athletes, but it was really easy to find some really cool content about these bikes. So if you like bikes and you like trying to go fast in a straight line, definitely check out this company. You might actually have the same realization that I did and start saving up for one yourself. Now, let's dive into my training from last week on the Tri Schedule platform. Let's take a look. Shout out to TriSchedule, the sponsor of today's video. TriSchedule is a powerful new triathlon training platform that runs on iOS, Android devices, and also in your web browser. It connects to your Garmin devices and imports all of your fitness data, and you can use it to plan workouts in the future. You can even use it to keep track of things like your lactate readings. If you're an athlete that uses a lactate meter, you can simply take a photo of your lactate meter, and then TriSchedule will pull the lactate reading and the time of the reading from the timestamp of the photo and plot that in your workout data so you can see in TriSchedule exactly what your lactate reading was at exactly which point in your workout. This is just one of the powerful tools that you can use with TriSchedule, and if you're interested to take a look, you can click the link in the description below to try out all the premium features that TriSchedule has to offer, 2 months for free. So click the link, check out TriSchedule, and join this new revolution of a modern training platform. I'm very excited about it, and if you do have any questions, concerns about the app, put them in the comments below. I work directly with the developer, so I'd be happy to relay anything you guys have to say about the TriSchedule platform. That being said, let's take a look at my training from last week. Nothing really too extreme or noteworthy here. I've been self-coaching myself the last couple of weeks, or really more than a month now, and I do feel like I'm ready to race this weekend. Last Monday was Memorial Day. I had a nice ride, about 90 minutes in the morning, nice barbecue. On Tuesday, went to the pool, and then after the pool, went and did some strength training. Usually I swim on Mondays, but since the pool was closed on Memorial Day, I sort of had to make it work. So swam on Tuesday, did some strength on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, I had a bit of I've been trying to get ready for this sprint triathlon, but I haven't really been doing any riding or running with much intensity at all, because if you've been watching my videos, I've been sort of rehabbing a bit of I don't even want to call it an injury, just some discomfort that I was having on my right side. On Wednesday, I decided to try and sort of break the rust off. I did an hour on my bike riding at high zone 2 power output here on the trainer. First indoor trainer ride in weeks, and it was pretty challenging to maintain my zone 2 power, not gonna lie. But I wanted to force my heart rate up and force that power out, really just sort of try to jumpstart my system and see how it felt. Off the bike, I went and ran, and I was feeling very spicy. I ended up doing 2 laps, about half mile each, about 4 minutes, and I was running at below 7-minute pace, which is my ideal sort of race pace for the sprint triathlon coming up this weekend, and I haven't tried to run that fast in a long time. The good news is I really felt great during this workout. I pushed myself, I felt good, and even though I was sore for the rest of the day and actually kind of worried about how sore my foot felt that night, I woke up on Thursday and I felt ready to go. And that was sort of the final bit of sort of reassurance that I feel like I needed to feel confident to sign up for the Sylvan Beach Triathlon. So Wednesday was a little bit of a turning point for me, really sort of upped the intensity and feel like the results were good. On Thursday, I went back to the pool. I did some swimming with my son. We had a really good time sharing the lane there. And then I went and did some strength training as usual on Thursday. Friday was a nice double bike ride type of day. I did some riding on the gravel bike and I did some riding on my tri-bike, and really enjoyed all the time on 2 wheels on Friday. Saturday, more bike riding. I went and did a little bit of a mountain bike ride in the morning, and then did a very exciting ride with my 10-year-old son on my wife's triathlon bike. My 10-year-old has grown tall enough that he now fits on my wife's Cervelo, and so we actually went for our very first ever road ride together. Very exciting, and he loves that bike. So really fun training day on Saturday. And then Sunday, I went and had a blast riding with some friends from the Powerhouse. 2 of them were doing some intervals, and I hung out with them for a little while. And then on the way back home, I tried to kind of put everything I had into the pedals for about 6 minutes. Another thing I did to try to prep for this upcoming sprint race, I wanted to sort of break the rust off. I averaged more than 340 watts for 6 minutes, and then a couple of low 300 averages for about 20 minutes combined. So I kind of got about 20 minutes of like threshold level power output in. And it felt so good, y'all. Like, it felt really good. So even more reassurance that I really need to go and see what I can do at the Sylvan Beach Triathlon this week. Today is Wednesday, so I do have 2 days from this week to go over, but Monday was a complete rest day. I took it completely off. Tuesday, yesterday, I went and did a strength training workout and then did some indoor cycling. And then this morning, went and did a swim here in the neighborhood. Our neighborhood pool is now open for swimming. Oh my God. And then I did a nice easy run after that. So that's everything. Got caught up here with the training I've done. The next couple of days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm going to try to take very easy. On Saturday, I'm going to go pick up my packet, and then on Sunday, hopefully I'll be racing the Sylvan Beach Triathlon. I love this race. However, I wasn't able to sign up today. I tried, but I can't get my USA Triathlon membership renewed. Like, the website won't let me renew it. So when I go to register, I can't register. So I wanted to come on here and talk about how I'm registered for the race, but unfortunately I got to get some help from the USA Triathlon support team to get that going. So I'm very excited for the race this weekend. I don't think I need to spend any time talking about predictions today. I'm just going to go and give it my absolute best for around an hour and see what happens. Before we wrap up today, I do want to check in with our pal Garmin. We got to take a look at my training status, which is still unproductive. Brr. You know, my bike computer yesterday, it actually was... I got off my ride and my bike computer said I was productive, but I know from experience that the true boss is my watch. And so once my watch saw everything, it said you're still unproductive. So bike computer said I was productive, but the watch said no. So we're running on more than a week of unproductive training status, but we are super solid with HRV variability. Heart rate variability has been very, very solid for weeks now. Very happy about that. And if you look and see here, my training load is just going up and up and up and up. So that is all going in the right direction. Very excited to get this sprint race done on Sunday, and I will be back with another video on Monday or Tuesday next week to let you know how it all went. So that's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you have anything to add, and I will be back next week with another update. Take care.